Hi, everyone. This is Lawrence Watkins, and welcome to the Financial Juneteenth channel. Today, on our interview, we are here with Tim King. Tim is the founder of OTL Legends, which is a part of the PHP Network, the PHP Edge Agency. And OTL Networks is a financial education services firm that believes everyone needs to have the opportunity to become wealthy. And today, he is talking about what the top 1% are doing with their money. So, Tim, how are you doing today?
Hey, great to be here. God woke me up this morning. Best day ever. Thank you for asking.
Wonderful, man. Wonderful. Well, tell me a little bit more about OTL Legends and how did you get started in this business?
Oh, actually, the crusade started well before I even got a hold of this business. Just like most everybody else, in 2008, I lost half of my retirement and my annuity because it was in the variable market. And in 2016, a friend of mine that went to school with had introduced me to the business. And I was told that it was my business and I can run it any way that I want to. Sam's 3 years later that I didn't understand all the ins and outs. I was pretty new to the business. Plus, I have an engineering and a legal background. And then when I started looking at the fine print, I realized that my business wasn't really my business. Other people controlled it. So when I got into this firm, when I worked up for PHP, I found out that everybody that I do business with, I have a business code with all the different agencies that I broker for. So we're a brokerage, and everybody's needs are different. So when I say that, it's like if I worked for an agency, like if I worked for more Merrill Lynch or I work for Edward Jones, I would be locked into what those providers, although what they provide. I couldn't go over to Morgan Stanley and ask them to use their products. It's just like if you go to a bank, and if another bank has better resources for you with your line of credit or whatever, better terms, a bank like Bank of America couldn't go to Wells Fargo and ask for their services. Well, I am a broker, so I can go to any one of the 50 different companies to fit what the client needs, so I can formulate a personal plan, not just what one company has to offer. So we put together an overall plan for each customer because everybody's needs are different.
Got you. Got you. So let's go back to when you lost everything in 2008. What was that process looking like in terms of how did you feel and what did it look like, to rebound?
I was just like most everybody else. I was ignorant to the money game. I didn't know what the rules were. I was set up, and the only reason why I went into the industry of being an engineer, I was a civil engineer, was that I had a pension and an annuity. And I did the math on it when they told me how much money I was making per hour for my retirement. I said, if I do 20 to 25 years, I'll be a pretty nice retirement. Plus, with the market gains and everything, it would be all right. So I started in June of 1999. And in 2008, just like everybody else, I lost 57% of my retirement. And I knew I didn't have enough time. I was in my late 40s, early 40s at the time. I knew I didn't have enough time to make up for that. And so when I went to the trust fund and asked them all the questions, I didn't like the answers. And as soon as I was introduced to this business, into the financial services business, they answered all the questions that I had when I asked the trust fund. They had all the correct answers I was looking for. And so I signed up that night and went through the process of being trained and learning and just finding out as much as I could about money and how it works and how money is supposed to work and what rules are, who's benefiting. And through that whole process of learning and being a student of the business has made me such a far better agent or business owner in helping other people. Now, there's two phases. I can help you with whatever it is that you have and you want to go to, or I can offer you an internship to business ownership platform where I can duplicate myself and actually help people become financially free and own their own business. And those are the two phases that I work on constantly.
Got it. So talk about that then in terms of the rules of the money game. So from your perspective, what are the rules of the money game?
Well, there's three phases to it. The rules of money, one is the rule of 72, the rule of compounding interest. You're either going to be a slave to it or you're going to be a master and leverage it. I teach them how to do that. I teach them how money grows. And there's three different ways. It doesn't matter where you're at in the world. Money grows three ways, either fixed, variable, and we have a third option that's indexed. And most people don't understand how that is because they're never introduced to it. because most financial services, traditional services, they don't give you that option because it doesn't make them money. So, and the third way is how your money gets taxed. So if you were a farmer and you wanted to pay your taxes, would you rather pay on the seed or the harvest?
Well, if you're taxed, you probably want to be paid on the harvest. What would you
Well,
say?
that's what most people would say. And that's what they're
Mhm.
doing. When you go have, like, if you have a pension plan, like a 401k, 403b, or 457s, all they're just tax codes, different things. They have different names to them, but it's just depending on what entity you're associated with. Either you're a for-profit, nonprofit, or you're a public employee. They all work the same. So you take your money that goes in tax deferred and it grows tax deferred. Which one you think would be bigger when you initiate, when you put the money in for accumulation, or when you get it out for distribution? You would pay more
Oh,
taxes on the distribution because it grew tax free. But if you pay the
mhm.
money up front, if you pay the taxes up front and then let it grow, then you'll be tax advantaged.
Interesting. So how does that play out in the real world? Taking that analogy to the real world in companies.
Well, you understand that most people that have a 401k, we call it deferred compensation. They
Mhm.
have that. They either have an IRA or they have a combination of IRA or 401k or 403b or 457 if they're a public employee. Well, and or SEP. All work the same way. They're all the same rules. And the rules are there. If you take the money out too early, you can get taxed and penalized on it. And then in some cases, if you run the fine print, you have to pay the money back added interest. So that's an extra added tax to it. You have to pay for that. You have to pay the state and federal taxes during retirement years after you're 59 and a half. But most people don't know is you have to take the money out before you're 72 because you run into an RMD, and that stands for a required minimum distribution. And if you don't take the money out, they will take 50% of what you should have spent, what you should have taken out of the fund, 50% of that, and then tax you. Federal and state will tax you, and you didn't get to use the money. So those are the rules because those are government-owned accounts. Now, which one do you would trust money, yourself or the government to actually take care of your money? Now,
I
they
think I'll
set the
trust myself.
rules. They set the rules. They set how much you're going to get taxed on it. They control how much interest that you're going to gain in the market on that money. So they control how it grows. So which would you rather, rely on yourself or rely on the government to handle your money?
What about you? Which one would you rely on?
Hey, I bet on me every day and
Every
twice or
day.
three times on Sunday
Yep.
because I believe in me. I don't know about you, but I don't believe the government can ever do anything great with my money. It's just the way it is. And then the other thing is that your money's tied to the market. And if you see what's been going on the last couple of weeks, we've lost quite a big chunk of money. People have lost thousands and thousands of dollars. But just think if you were ready to retire at this time and you're seeing a drop market loss
Mhm.
and you're ready to retire, you don't have time to make up for those losses. When you're young, yeah, you can wait till the market comes back. Money lost can be found again, but you can't, once your time is spent, you can get that back. And so
Right.
what if I asked you, would you rather lose money in your retirement from time to time? You'd be good with that? Or we can find a way where you can get you a bonus and get you a guaranteed rate of return no matter what the market does. What would you rather have?
Yeah, you would want the guaranteed rate of return, but I'm looking at the market, and as of today, let's say the S&P 500 is about $3,350.
Mm-hmm.
A year ago, it was at about 3,078 dollars in terms of the index price. So it's gained a little bit, even though there was a big dip. Over the long term, things tend to or seem to be going in the upper direction. So, what would you say to that in regards to just overall market trends versus what you're talking about?
Well, I can share with you a chart to see it shows you how money grows and how it's dipped and grown and dipped and grown. I can show you that really quickly. Do have a chart that I answer that question empirically. It's the chart of Morgan Stanley comes out with a chart every quarter. They update it because every quarter
Mhm.
it shows the ups and downs. And what it shows is since 1997 to now, the market every 8 to 10 years, the market drops. There's a market correction. Now,
Mhm.
nobody knows why that is. Nobody understands it. But 8 to 10 years is a big market drop. In 2002, it dropped 48%. In 2008, it dropped 57%. So now since March 9th, 2009 to February this year, the market had grown 401%, unprecedented. But this year it lost 33%. As you know, people that lost 33% of their money back in February 14th or 15th, it lost about 30%. And it's come back, but if you lose at 52%, which is the threshold, you have to come back at 100% more to get back to your original position. Now, do you have that much time to wait in the market for it to come back? Maybe if you're 20 or 25 years old, but not if you're 65 or 70, you don't have time for that money to come back. You don't have time to waste for that money to come back for you. Yeah, money lost can be found again, but time can't. So if you never had those losses, where you would be at since 2008, you would be just about 400% higher than anybody that had their money in the market. Which would you rather have?
Yeah, that's a good question to ask.
Oh, I always ask questions. I never make statements. I always give questions because it's their choice.
Mm-hmm.
People have choices. Life is about choices. Just make informed ones. And that's what we do, the education first. And then we ask them, what do they want? Where do they want to be in the future? My promise to them is that they allow me to be committed, to allow me to put them in a better financial situation now and in the future. I will work as hard as I can to ensure that happens. So first I need the information on you, some basic information. Where do you want to be at? What your needs are right now? And then where do you want to be, say, when you want to retire? What kind of lifestyle do you want? Now, you can live any kind of lifestyle. If you make $60,000 a month, you can live any lifestyle that you want consistently. But most people don't have that kind of income. So what do you have to do to supplement? I live in California. I live in the Bay Area. You can make as much as $118,000 a year and you'll still be in the poverty line.
Mm-hmm.
It's not true in most places. But New York, Hawaii, Florida, it's pretty expensive. Mm-hmm. And if you live on the coast, anywhere on the East Coast, you know that every year there could be a hurricane that can wipe out everything. Mm-hmm. You have to have protections. It's not just how much you make, it's how much you keep. And if you're having every year to have to pay a deductible, or you don't, you have so many claims that you can't make any more claims on the same disaster, you have to wait on emergency disaster relief, and that takes time. But if you have your own account where you can derive the money tax-free and still replace what you've already had, wouldn't that be better? You wouldn't have to rely on the government.
Yeah, that would. Got you. So before we get out of here, just a couple more questions. One, as it relates to being a part of the PHP agency, and some of the, I don't say backlash, but reservations that people have with companies like PHP and also Primerica. And then I would like to see your closing thoughts on how people can, get in touch with you. So first, answer the first one, and then we get to the second one.
Well, the first apprehension, most people have been out of work for a long time. They're beat up and they want to get back on what I call the employee merry-go-round. You buy a ticket, you get on board, you get laid off, and you have to go buy another ticket to get on another ride. I believe that this agency has not laid off anybody since 2009. We've been in business for 11 years. This platform has not laid off not one person. It is essential. And by the greater growth that we've had over the last 8 months, we brought in almost 20,000 people per month. We're on pace to bring on at least 320,000 more people this year than we did last year. So it's a recession proof, and we've been deemed essential by the Homeland Security. So all the agencies, all the other businesses can be shut down, except for us. We can still do business. I can do business across state lines. I can either do it in person or electronically. The rules and regulations have been readjusted for this COVID. So I'm licensed in 6 states. I can operate in California and different states in the union from my home. I can work from home or from my office. You can work remotely or you can work out of the office. I choose to do it because everybody's still, until this thing blows over, I feel more comfortable working from home, and it's convenient, and I get a lot more done. Even though I have obligations to go and work out of this platform, my hours are from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. West Coast time. And I choose to work that hard because I build an agency, and then that's going to give me residual income for the rest of my life growing.
Right. So that's on the work side. I am talking about as a customer.
As a client?
As a client.
Most apprehensions are people that haven't heard of it before. And then when we show them the laws and we show them the way that a better opportunity, most people that understand it, they grab towards it, and it just makes sense. We just put it in a common sense type of way, just like I shared with you. What would you rather have? It's up to them. And we go ahead and ask them. We show them first. We show them the rules, and then we show them what they're doing. We ask them what they're doing, and we show them that if it makes sense for them, if it's a better way, if it's good, that's fine. We don't touch it. If it makes sense to do something, a better alternative, which will give you a better outcome, it's just a no-brainer. I work with committed people that allow me to put them in a better situation financially now and in the future. That's all it is. I don't strong arm. I don't do any pressure tactics. I just give them people the options. We provide options either for our business partners, potential new business partners, and our clients. And that's what I believe we do. And I've been contacting a lot of people that are in business and doing different businesses. And so I have a lot of different other perspectives with people, other people in other areas that I work with. And they bring on a fresh new approach to doing business as well. We're just revolutionizing the way that money is distributed, because there's enough money moving hands every day around the world for everybody to have a net worth of $1 billion. And why can't we don't have it? You need to tap into the right industry.
Wonderful. So if people want to get in touch with you to learn more about your 3 rules, the rule of 72, how does money grow and how money gets taxed, how can they get in touch with you?
My name's Tim King. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on IG. That is TK Writer.
TK Writer or Writer?
Writer, RYDR on Instagram. Okay. You can find me Tim King on Facebook. Until my webpage is finished being designed and it's published. That's what I'm going with. I did have one before, but I'm just redoing it because I'm with a new agency now. I've been here just about a year now with this new agency, and I'm rebuilding a new website for it. And so it'll be more accessible. It'll have links to the PHP platform as well. And you'll get the same opportunities that anybody else has, and anybody that's willing to go out and just help people. But the difference is we don't charge fees or brokerage fees or any fees of any time of consultations. I don't charge my clients a dime for what I do for them. And nobody in the 5 years that I've been in business, none of my clients have ever lost money in the market, ever. No brokerage firm can ever claim that. No traditional firm can claim that. I can.
Wonderful. Tim, thank you so much for your time. So if you all like this interview with Tim King, please go ahead and shoot a thumbs up button, or excuse me, press the thumbs up button, shoot him a thumbs up. Thumbs up. Yeah, thumbs up. And today we've been talking about what the top 1% are doing with their money with Tim King, the founder of OTL Legends, a financial education services firm that believes everyone needs to have the opportunity to become wealthy. He is a part of a larger organization called phpagency.com. That's PHP Agency. So on behalf of Tim, my name is Lawrence Watkins. Take care, be blessed, and have a wonderful day. All right,
thumbs up, everybody. Thumbs up.